Hello and welcome back to Purple in Peril, a Warlock life. This is level 12. So drastic change this level to the enhancements. If I would click on the right section, that is. So I've reset all the trees and I've gone full out in here in the Constitution led tree. If you are going standard Warlock, I would definitely recommend going tier 5 in here for the Eldritch Wave. Also the feed on magic makes it so you really don't have to bother too much about spell point conservation at all. Even with tentacles, you can probably start maximizing it if you've got this. So I would definitely go tier 5 in here if you're going a standard blaster build. That wave combined with the tentacles just mops everything up. Anyway, in the tanky tree we've got the 4 cores. As I mentioned before, I'm not doing the full tankiness for the leveling process. I'm keeping the light spell power and universal spell power because I have to do the lifting myself, so I need the extra power where possible. One thing I have noticed is that's like an imbue toggle thing, and every time you log out and log back in, that needs toggling back on, as does the aura. So we lose all our single target damage with this, and we go into a state where we're as well just sort of rounding up 20 or 30 creatures as trying to kill one, so we're best off getting that one to follow us to some more if possible. So we've got the two blasts centered on the character, so we've gone from sort of shooting things from medium to short range to really wanting to be in the center of a big crowd of things, with the blast coming out from the center of the Warlock's body. Central to this strategy now, we've got two things. The brilliance, it's the ticking aura, so our constitution score is what, 39 is it, I think now. So every time that aura ticks, 39 temporary health points. And the other thing, the shining through, every 30 seconds I can get constitution equal to I can get temporary health points equal to 8 times our constitution score. So that's the ticking aura that you can see, 36 is it? And then we've got, that's the shining through. Very cheap spell point cost as well. The rest of the points I have put back into the Tainted Scholar tree, so I can still have stanch. So for a really tough moment or a boss fight or something. For example, I recently did the Jungle of Khyber, the thing in Kundarak with the beholders and a big boss beholder towards the end. He gave me 10 negative levels because I don't have a spell absorption item on this character, and I don't like farming, so I didn't want to farm for one. So 10 negative levels, and I still managed to battle through to the end with a combination of stanch and this shining through. My actual hit points were somewhere around 150, but the adjusted gave me enough to be able to complete the quest. So we've got the stanch, we've still got the web spell in there, and we've got the extra pack damage dice plus utter dark because we're still running with light rather than force. Gear wise, it's broadly speaking the same. I did put the blurry gloves back in to complete the set. I think I was a bit silly to break the set at 10, so I've put a sapphire of resistance in there because there was resistance on the other gloves I was using, and we're still looking pretty good with the spell powers. We're in the 200s for all the ones that matter. Actually no, that's a lie. We're 176 for force, so that's a bit low. That's the tentacles. Force is helping the tentacles, but we've got 20 plus crit for force, light and acid, which isn't bad. and acid and light are around the sort of 250 area, so that's not bad either. For mid heroic, not bad. Now, a significant item I have added that I could and should have added a level earlier, the golden greaves. Now we've lost our freedom of movement from the boots we had on before, but if you look at the bottom here, DR15 on a mid heroic item, to me that's insanely good. So I've, especially being as we expect to be in the middle of all the things, I've changed to those. I hope that between that and the cycling aura of temporary hit points, we're going to be pretty hard to bring down, I hope. Otherwise, you do have the option of one of the level 12 scepters from the Lord's March chain. There's one for basically every spell power, so we could put one in there for force or light or acid. Although no, acid we've got on the belt there. The reason I've stuck with the Barovian one is its potency, and so it's helping everything. And this one is just not negotiable. There is a slightly better improvement on that with similar stats, just a bit better at 15, the Fury Orb from Shan. And then there is an epic version at level 21, the coalesced coinage epic. But by then we'll be using a shield, so we won't get the benefit of that, sadly. Although actually, having said that, given that I want spell power and that kind of thing, maybe I should experiment, take the shield feats for the end build, but not use the shield, and see how we can do with the epic orb. Perhaps that's something I could experiment with. Okay, enough waffle. I think that's everything I wanted to say, is it? No, not quite. About the shield and the shield feats, we took our first shield feat this time, because as this is a tanky build, it's going to end up with a caster stick in one hand and a shield in the other, and it's going to pay us to go all the way down the shield line, general shield mastery, because the Warlock can't by nature use a shield. Then what's the next one? I can't even remember. I think there's a shield mastery, improved shield mastery, greater shield mastery, and then a perfect shield mastery. And I think each one down the line gives you a hit point bonus as well, a bit like the melee ones do, the two-handed fighting, improved two-handed fighting, all that kind of thing. As the shield one is the only one that really would apply to our build, because we're not doing anything with melee, it's logical to take that as well, and it'll give us some more defences once we eventually do equip a shield. Just a word on the enhancement side. We're using the shifter build because it very clearly is the best one for what we're trying to do, constitution tanky stuff. There's constitution in the cause, there's extra constitution when you shift or rage, there is healing amp up there, and then here at the top there's something really good, quality bonus to hit points, threat generation, PRR when you're raging. But it's all based on when you're raging, and unfortunately we can't rage and cast at the moment, not until we get to epic, and there is a tier 2 enhancement in the Dragonborn tree that allows us to do that. So when we get into epic, we will switch some points into here, just in case you're wondering. Right, we're going to try another of the game's iconic quests. We've done one from this pack already, the White Plume Mountain and Other Tales. Well, this is the White Plume Mountain. It's one of my favourite quests in the game. It's quite a grand thing. If you have a team of 3 or more of you, you can split up and make much shorter work of it. But we're going to do the whole thing ourselves, obviously. this will be the first one I've done in the new tankier setup, so I'm sure you will notice quite a change. Hopefully we won't perish horribly.
At the foot of the stairs,
I think I've got everything on that needs to be on.
Something is clutched in its hand.
So yes, unlike previously, we're going to be going along and trying to
the east lies
wherever possible get a maximum of things circling us.
You can see the codex page sitting on a pedestal, but access to
And
the
then use
treasure
our
chamber
2
is
blasts
blocked
plus
behind
the
3 magical
tentacles
seals.
to
Each seal bears
hopefully
the
make
symbol of a
reasonably
weapon,
short work of them.
a sword,
Plus
a
this
hammer,
aura
and
and the
a
shining through to keep us alive and
a
stanch
regal
where
creature
necessary.
waits for you in the water here. It meets your gaze with eyes filled with both sadness and
I forget
wisdom.
what the questions are. I've just memorized the answer to this riddle. And the answers are always multiples of 6, so it's either 6, 12, or the moon. I think that's all the 3 things there are. I always start with the left path, I don't know why.
My challenge is
Get some displacement on. Oh, there's some lag there, isn't there? Delay between the spell being cast and it actually appearing. Okay, so let's try and get everybody. Okay, that's good. Now, one thing I didn't know for a long time, if you're the first one across this section, nothing happens, but to the people behind, unless you disable the trap, they get some significant damage on there. Heat damage or something.
The barrier blocking your way fades in a shimmer of light, and your adventure continues. This passage is framed in metal. There's a faint crackle of electricity, and it's uncomfortably warm. It's hard to say how strong the current is, or how it might affect you, until you step inside.
So very different strategy to the Blaster Warlock, who doesn't really like to be in the middle of the things.
A narrow, winding path leads over a drop into beds of spikes and whirling blades.
Well, the nice thing about this is I'm not messing about with false health anymore, because the false health is coming from this ticking aura. And I've still got most of the cushion of the shining through that I activated as well, which I can reactivate every 30 seconds if needs be. Now, if you're not a regular runner of this quest, this section, well, you've 2 choices. You can either take out all the creatures and things that we've just jumped past, these things being held back at the moment by these glass barriers, or you can do the quick and easy way, jump down here. If you have a trapper, you disable the trap and nothing happens. If you don't have a trapper, you pull this lever and all the stuff up at the top drops down on you, and it can be extremely deadly. So I've prepared a bit of a death zone for it in advance, but believe me, especially on the legendary level, when you get all that stuff coming down, if you're not prepared for it, it can chew you up in record time.
The door clicks as it unlocks, and the water begins to drain away at last. To your surprise, a mouth carved into the stone wall announces your presence in a booming voice.
Get the shining through on.
Guests approach.
Just attack him.
The halfling Perril's grin grows larger, and then larger
Now
still.
it does split up at
His
some
body
point
twists
into
and grows, revealing the towering form of an ogre
several
magi.
versions of
Still
himself,
grinning, but with much
like thus.
sharper
I suppose we're well equipped with the aura and the blasts to deal with that. Don't touch that chest in the corner, it's a mimic. So this is the Achilles heel of the Warlock in general, but especially this build. The single target damage is, shall we be kind and say, below average.
As you touch the crest, it fades away. You hear a bell chime in the distance.
So on
You
to
are
the second
one
one.
step closer to your objective. As you enter the room, two green and feminine forms emerge from the water with a splash.
Oh, what's it? Oh god, yeah. Okay, I'd forgotten about those. Sorry, people. I saw the dungeon alert, but I didn't see anybody there, and I was thinking, what's happened here? There is an optional down there through that tube. We're just going to go for the crab, the completion of this section. Now I think for this we're going to switch to the single blast, single target blast, because obviously he's the only one that's there.
Pulse and sway with the water currents. The walls don't look
And this
very
might
sturdy,
take a while
so
to chip
best
him
be
down, yeah.
careful near them.
Oh, that lag. This is where you miss your big hitting stricken and consume from the soul eater tree.
The crab
Okay.
falls over dead with a mighty crash.
Not too terrible.
There's a low hum, and the barriers shimmer with energy. The tears in them close, and the water begins to drain from the chamber. As the water recedes, you notice a
To the
crest
last
marked
one. Now
with
I've
a
been
trident
told
toward the back of
that
the chamber.
if you can cast a
Another
fire
crest
spell
claimed.
down on this
Only
green
one left to
glob
go.
here, you can
Bright green
have it
slime
dissipate
covers
and
the
not do
floor
anybody any
here.
damage. As it is,
Something about it
I
gives
can
you
never
a
seem to
bad
jump over
feeling.
it, so I always have to use
Pain
remove disease.
stings the soles of your feet. You look down to see the green slime coating your boots. It begins to creep up, reaching higher, consuming as it goes.
Get in there. Let's have a group hug. Now we might be able to just unlock this and avoid the
This mechanical door has a keyhole mounted in the stone floor in
Yes.
front of it. A
The
set of
solution to
5
this one is
patchwork
number 9. I
creatures
think
regard you impassively,
I
each
think when it
branded
says
with a glowing
which one
number.
doesn't belong,
One of them
this
begins to
one
speak.
this one is the only
If
one, is
you
it, that's
can pick it out, it will
prime
serve
number?
you,
Is it
and the
divisible
others
by
will allow
itself and
passage. Pick wrong.
oh, I can't
and they
remember.
will
It's
kill
the only one that's
You have 1 minute.
that's divisible by itself and one other number. These other numbers are not. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. My maths is very sketchy, but I'm sure there was a definite reason it was that one. And I just about understood it at the time it was explained to me. Somebody's going to have to re-explain to me what a prime number is. I really should have kept my mouth shut and looked it up on Google, shouldn't I? Basic primary school maths, and I'm failing so hard. Oh, the embarrassment. I think we've got something here, haven't we? Yeah. Sometimes there can be things lurking there or in the back there, undead. No, nothing this time. I think we better redo the buffs, we're almost out. Now, for a very long time in this room I always went down to the bottom thinking I couldn't make the jumpy section and fought the mudmen at the bottom. Actually, I think there is a reason to fight them down there, because I think one of them gives quite a tasty bonus to the monster manual. So now I've said that, of course, I'm going to go down there and test it out.
A ladder for a lesson, cries the stone mouth.
Go on, let's get you all in here.
Against our mud.
It's just made me a liar, hasn't it? Oh no, mud manual, that'll do. That's not bad, is it? 4,000 odd. See, I'm all happy now because I got something right for a change. I'll be living off that for the next 3 episodes. Okay. I'm still doing without the quicken or indeed any other meta magic on my standard spells because for the longer quests my mana pool wouldn't survive. I could of course have used the shrines in the middle and stopped being such a skinflint.
You feel certain that something deadly awaits you in the blackness. As the darkness engulfs you, a voice
Put the shining through back on.
Ear. Thank you for coming.
Now light damage should do quite well against these shadowy types in here. Let's stay well out of those circles. Just like with the Vengeance Reaper, it doesn't pay to stay in there. Yeah, they don't like the light damage, do they? And in the... Oh, hello. In the spirit tree I've just gone into, we get this light imbue toggle as well, so very nice against shadows. Now all we have to do is go back and challenge the Efreets. Put the fire shield cold on. These things are the bane of one of our little party who keeps delighting in telling us she always gets killed by cocks. We're not doing so bad here. So he's slow and steady, but he doesn't often look like dying, at least on the lower Reapers.
I'll be most disappointed if you cause me any trouble. Don't worry.
Will be of acid.
One of the wizard's magic mouths confirms your victory as you enter the treasure chamber. Well played. I concede this round to you, adventurer.
So, as I mentioned before, I think I went for quite a bit further last time in the sort of blaster form before switching to this aura form. This is the first time I've tried the aura from level 12, and I think we can see from that it's a little bit slower in places, but it's very safe. You're really going to have to get very unlucky or do something really crazy to die in this form. So from that point of view, it does what it says on the tin. It's very robust. Right, waffle over. I hope that was okay for you. I'll leave it there. And that was level 12. Thank you very much for looking, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.